Dear students, in this video we will discuss next topic of chapter 6 staffing, that is training and development. So training is the process of upgrading the knowledge and skills of the employees so that they can perform their job better. It is concerned with imparting and developing specific skills for a particular purpose. Certain definitions propounded by different authors are by Del Yoder. Training is the process by which manpower is filled for the particular job it is to perform. According to Filippo, training is the act of increasing the knowledge and skills of an employee for doing a particular job. Training is different from development. Training includes certain key terms, that is coaching, teaching, knowledge, improvement of employees' skills, experience, learning, development, etc. Whereas development is a proactive process which involves growth of an employee in all respects. Usually, the intent of development is to provide knowledge and understanding that will enable people to do their present job and increase their capabilities for handling higher jobs in the future. Both term training and development are different in some manner. Let's see. Training focus on specific job, knowledge and skill that is to be applied in the short run. That means for particular job for which an employee is appointed, whereas development focuses on broad knowledge and insights that may be required for adaptation to environmental demands in the future. Let's see the difference between training and development. So the process of providing employees with specific skills or helping them correct deficiencies in their performance, it is called training. And development, an effort to provide employees with the abilities the organization will need in the future. So the basis of points of differentiation between training and development are: it is related to current job, it focuses on the improvement of skill of individual employees, it is imparted for immediate effect, it is used to fix current skill deficit, that means any defect of skill is removed through training. It may be seen as negative process sometimes. Now development, it is beneficial for current and future job. It benefited work group and organization. It is provided for long-term improvement of skills and development of our employees. It is prepared for future work demands. All right. Now we will discuss certain benefits of training for organization. It reduces learning time of the employees. It increased productivity of the employees by improving skills and knowledge of the employees related to job. It changes attitude of the employees. It is helpful in optimum utilization of resources. It helps to adopt changes by the employees. There are certain benefits of training to the employees too. It reduces of occurring accidents on the workplace. It helps in attitude formation of the employees. It increases the chances of promotion for the employees. It also boosts up the morale of employees. Now we will study training methods. There are mainly two methods of providing training: on the job training and off the job training. On the job training is considered to be the most effective method of training the operating operative personnel. Under this method, workers not only learn the work under the guidance of a supervisor but also produce goods in the process. In other words, the worker learns in the actual work environment. It is based on the principle of learning by doing. There is very practical quote on the screen regarding on the job training. Tell me, I listen. Show me, I see. Involve me, I understand. That's the main benefit of the training, on the job training. Now we will see some method of on the job training. So number 1 is apprenticeship program. This is one of the oldest method of training and is still prevalent in the construction work. In this method, the trainee is put under the guidance of a master worker, experienced expert in the field for longer periods. This method makes the trainee aware about the complications of the job. The apprenticeship trainee gets remuneration in the form of wages, salary or stipend. It is suitable for people seeking to enter skilled trades. For example, plumbers, machine man, mechanics, electrician, etc. So, apprenticeship is a combination of the on-the-job training and related classroom instruction under the supervision of a journey level craft person or trade professional, in which workers learn the practical and theoretical aspects of a high skilled occupation. Next one is internship. This method is adopted in order to make effective coordination between theoretical education and practical training. Normally, students of professional course are imparted such type of training like chartered accountant, company secretary courses, etc. During this period, stipend is paid to them. This method makes them familiar with the complications of the work, but this method is very time consuming. A very interesting cartoon regarding internship training is seen on your screen, that on one door, trainees, that means students of professional institutions, are entered in the company and they are exiting in a form of professionals. Next one is induction. In induction training, trainee is acquainted with the work environment and fellow employees. This training helps him to get a general idea about the policies, procedures, objectives, rules and strategy of the enterprise. It is very short informative training given immediately after recruitment. The purpose is to give a bird's eye view of the organization where he has to work and creates a feeling of involvement in the minds of newly appointed employees. It is also known as orientation training. Induction is a process of initiation into a new job or company by which a new employee learns about and becomes a part of an organization. Now, next part of training, next category of training is off-the-job training. So, this type of training is considered as an effective method of training. Under off-the-job training, the workers undergoes training for a specific period away from the workplace. Off-the-job training is imparted in case of complicated and technical jobs where more understanding, skills and experience is required. The workers are free of tension of work when they are learning. Off-the-job training methods are more relevant for the development of higher level employees and executives. In this type of training, employees are taken away to another location to learn a skill or acquire important knowledge. The different methods of off-the-job trainings are There are lots of methods like case study, role playing, management games, lectures method, stimulation, and vestibule training. In this chapter, we will only learn vestibule training as of the job training. Okay, this is only of the job training is in your syllabus. The term vestibule training is used to designate training in a classroom for semi skilled jobs. Under this method, employees learn their job on the equipment they will be using, but training is conducted away from the workplace. Actual work environment is created in a classroom, and employees use the same materials, files, and equipment as used in on workplace. It is the most suitable where a large number of employees must be trained at the same time for the same kind of work. The trainees get an opportunity to become accustomed to work routine and recover from their initial nervousness before going on their workplace. Vestibule training has certain demerits also. It is relatively expensive because there is duplication of materials, equipment, and conditions. So, classroom training with equipment and machines are vestibule training. Equipments identical with that used at workplace. Attempt to duplicate real material, equipment. Staff of vestibule are specialist expert instruction. All right, that's all in this chapter. Thank you.